What's going on, you guys? What is going on? What is going on, y'all? This be your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new episode of Yes for the Mess, where we talk about celebrity gossip, hot topics, and all things reality TV based. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Friday, and I intend on doing the exact same thing, you guys. What is going on now? The reason why I'm late is because I have a guest coming on here with me, and I'm waiting on him to jump in. That's the only reason why I was late, child. I was waiting on him, and he said he's about to come in here. So I really don't want to get started until he comes in here. But y'all already know that the topic of today, the topic of discussion, is basically Tina Campbell and her husband and all that stuff that's going on with that. So as soon as he gets in here, we're gonna get this thing going and get it started and stuff like that. Now the person that is coming up here with me, y'all have seen him before. If you've watched the scene ATL, the web reality show that I'm on, you have seen him before. Not to mention he is my best friend of 16 years, and I've had him up here doing album reviews with me. So he should be here in just a second because he knows we got to be done with this by 7:55 because I got bill collective to do tonight. So I'm just wait. There he is. So I'm just waiting on him. So here is DJ Child.
It's the hottie. What's up, Scotty?
What's going on? Now
Not
where
much.
was you coming from?
I was in
Did
traffic, and
Child.
so downtown Atlanta. You know how that go. You know how that go.
I'm on the south side, so I'm not accustomed to those things.
I just looked at your cup and I realized I left mine on the other side of the room. It's fine. Serve my life, please. Somebody.
But yes, y'all. This is DJ. Of course, y'all know him already. We still got to finish our Keisha Cole reviews.
We do. That's not all. We got to get into our K Michelle reviews
We
too.
got to get into K Michelle too, but we just got to finish Keisha first because we have been talking about doing. I'm off tomorrow, so if you want to do it tomorrow, we can.
Listen, I'm free until the 26th. Let's go.
Listen, because Bando ain't even in Atlanta. Bando out of town, so I ain't. Normally if I'm off on a Saturday while he off, then I'm normally hanging out with him on a Saturday. But
Mm-hmm.
being that he's out of town, then just like whatever.
Yo, baby daddy.
Yeah, my baby daddy.
Brando.
You the reason. You're the reason. Let's be clear. You the reason. I never would have known him if it wasn't for you. So
Listen, I'm the birthday. Been the birthday, baby. So I got you. I got you.
So listen, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this story right here, and that is Tina Campbell and her husband of 27 years. He's the one who filed for divorce this time. Now, if you watch the Mary show, then you know that he had a lot of issues with infidelity while they were married. So here it is. So I'm reading this from Neighborhood Talking. They got to add their extra spin to the story. And shout out to the Neighborhood Talkers. They follow me on Instagram, which is so odd to me, but they follow me on Instagram.
You famous. They know you.
Listen, when I first seen them following me on Instagram, I'm like, what I do?
You famous. That's it. You are Scotty the hottie.
Listen.
Extraordinaire.
But anyway, here we go. So it says, neighbor, she should have left his ass when she had the chance. Now, according to TMZ, Tina Campbell, half of gospel duo Mary is reportedly facing a major change at home after her husband, Glendon Campbell, filed for divorce. Legal docs show that he filed in Los Angeles County on Monday, citing irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split. The two separated in June of 2024, so that's over 2 decades of marriage before things came to an end. The docs also state that the two share 2 minor children. While Glendon didn't check any boxes regarding custody, he is asking the court to establish visitation and handle any spousal support matters at a later time. If you recall, her husband has been wrapped in plenty of scandals over the years, including allegations involving close family, friends, and employees. Tina stood by him through it all and even revealed that at one point she felt suicidal due to everything that she had been through. Now, what do y'all think about this? DJ!
Listen, First of all, okay, so let's start here. We're gonna start light, right? Can we get into these names? Like Glendon Theodore, okay? Like, that's a strong, like, you gotta have some strong grandparents, like, with some names like that. Like, Mary Ethel, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Johnny May, Freddie May, you know what I'm saying? Like, hell, Freddie Ethel, I don't know, that's a strong name. And so we can get into the name. Let's start there. My honest feelings on this, first of all, I feel like Tina should have left the first time. Um
Sure.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now before we even get into this. If you are one of those hyper religious people, I'm gonna tell you right now, this commentary,
It's not
you
for you.
you're not gonna like it. I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out there. Church, church, religion, the Bible has people trapped in marriages that no longer serve them, or marriages that are, we'll just encompass everything and just say toxic, and you just shouldn't be in the marriage. Let's start there.
Oh, absolutely.
If you remember on the show, Tina was devastated finding out that her husband had cheated. And then, kind of doing my own separate research, you find out how she even found how the information initially even came to her. And then she confronted her husband and asked him on numerous occasions, like, is there an affair? Is there somebody else? Like, what you doing? And every single time he would say no. And then they get in a room on Super Bowl Sunday. She's like, is what's going on? Because I have reason to believe that this is what's happening. Are you having an affair? And he said no. And this is after the side chick came to her with the information. What Bertha say? You came to me with the BS, and it was a scheme tied setup,
Right.
and so he said no. She called the side chick, who, might I add, is their children's godmother and nanny assistant. Called her on the phone. She says, are you and my husband sleeping together? Tina says, are you and my husband sleeping together? The lady hangs up the phone, and that was all the answer that she needed. At that moment, I would have filed then. I feel like she gave him time and space to prove himself. And granted, she thought it was gonna work. But I also feel like in a space like that, when infidelity has occurred, when you're a serial cheater, that's not something that you just stop. You know what I mean? And I would constantly hear all of my friends say before they got married, like they took a vow of celibacy, like they didn't go on dates, like they were really kind of into their word and into themselves. And I kind of understand it now, assessing this situation, because it's a situation where this is who you are. And I don't know any of the parties involved. I'm only going off of the actions. And
Hmm.
that's what we're discussing now. Because had you stopped a long time ago, none of this would have even been a thing. You know what I
Basically.
mean? And then she also said on the show, you you're not telling me the whole story. You're giving me bits and pieces. And I don't know if anybody can relate to this, where it's like you ask a person for the truth, and it's like they tell you the parts that don't make them look bad, or they tell the parts that, aren't going to hurt you as much, and they withhold the other stuff. I'll never forget, in one of my previous situations, I had somebody had me thinking that the reason why we broke up was because I wasn't doing what I needed to do, but found out a decade later, it's like, no, you were sleeping with our neighbor while I would be upstairs in our bed sleep. And you know what I mean? And you didn't tell that part. You didn't tell the other parts that occurred in the mix. You didn't tell that y'all were trying to build something on the slide while you were trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't tell all of that. And my thing, as I agree with Tina, as she said, give it all to me at one time. Let me heal at one time, not you give me a little bit and I start the healing process. Then you go cut me again. Then I heal again, or start to. Now you're pouring salt in the wound, and then you want to cut me again, and now you're trying to shoot me in the same spot that you're still pouring salt and bleach in, and I'm over here hurting, and now you about to hit me again. You know what I mean? Like, it's just give it all to me at one time. I'm gonna say this: the best thing Tina could do at this point Go through your divorce proceedings, but in the interim, go back to Mary Mary if Erica will have you. Get in the studio. No, seriously, because you know, Erica's thing was, oh, now you're down to do Mary Mary when it's convenient for you. But when I was trying to do it, you were all about Tina's solo record. Now that your solo record is done and mine is picking up, now you want me to slow down what I'm doing to accommodate you. That ain't how it works, sis. And so if Erica will have her back, and if Warren will have her back, because if y'all remember on the show, it was hell trying to get Tina to stop recording her solo record to focus on Mary Mary because they still owe Sony another album.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't forget. Best thing she could do, like I said, if Erica will have her get back in Mary Mary, get in the studio, record another hit album. It needs to be a hit. But also, you need to hell. I don't think it's a bad idea to get We TV on the phone. If you can get the show moved over to Bravo, hell, we'll call the show Tina and Erica. I don't care, whatever it is, the redemption season. You know, this is the 8th season of Mary Mary. You know, we've seen them have their babies, we've seen them do this, and now after Tina's fresh divorce and Erica's solo success, you know, they're back. And can they bring the magic back for Mary Mary? You know, we want to see it now, because what the people also don't realize is Tina completely abandoned her career and anything associated with it for her marriage to babysit her husband. We just gonna call it what it is. She was
Yeah,
babysitting him.
basically, she was babysitting him because she didn't trust him. And another thing about it was she didn't trust him. He was a serial cheater, and she kept on taking him back. So she felt like she couldn't really focus on her own shit because she had to focus on babysitting him. So at any given moment, if you feel like you gotta babysit a man and you gotta watch a man, then you don't need to be with that man. And listen, I'm not even the type of person to, I don't really like to judge people's relationships a lot, because unless you're Rashida, I don't like to judge people's relationships mainly due to the fact that ain't nobody's relationship perfect. But and people do make mistakes. And the older I get, the way my mind changes about the way I maneuver in relationships. Like I remember when I was growing up and in my early 20s, and I barely even had a relationship to even call one, because I was like 20, 21 years old. I hadn't even never had a relationship really before. Just talking to a guy or something like that. That's it. So I used to always say, well, if a man cheat on me, it's over. I'm leaving. If a man do this, I'm leaving. Then when I got older, a lot of the shit that I said I would never ever tolerate, I did. You know
I
what
think
I
we all
mean?
do. And
Yeah,
that's
I
not to
did.
minimize your experience. But I think
Mm-hmm.
we all have been like, you cheat on me or you disrespect me, I'm out of there. You know how we
Mm-hmm.
do. And then it happens and it's like, but I love him. Like I don't, you know.
Yeah, it's that type of thing. And but when people ask Scotty, have you ever cheated on someone? I'll be like,
Hell yeah.
but I haven't.
You haven't, but I have, and I ain't ashamed
Yeah.
about it because they deserved it.
but
Okay.
but see, I always ask the question, what is the definition of cheating? Because I was in a relationship in 2019. I think I told you this story before, but when I was in this relationship, it was either you and Jamar, because you and Jamar know a lot about my mm. But however, in 2019, I started dating this dude. Hey Daniel, I was dating this dude, and everybody told me that he one shit. Everybody told me, I had all these stories about him and stuff. And I'm the type of person that I always feel like, why is it that every time I get with somebody, everybody got a damn story to tell every time I get with somebody? You feel what I'm saying?
They want you outside, baby. They want you
Right.
outside.
It's always a story to be told. So when I started talking to dude and started, being in the kind of getting into the relationship with him, I was starting to see the red flags, and he really wasn't giving me anything. But then there was this other guy that I knew that I used to think, like when I was working at the dollar store during that time, he used to come in there all the time. I used to think that he was so damn fine. And one day he inboxed me on Facebook and asked me for my number, and I gave it to him while I was talking to this guy. But I ain't think nothing of it. So I was just getting involved with him, and then not to mention he was just getting out of some. So We never slept, we never smashed, we never kissed or anything. It was mainly phone conversation. Like we talked on the phone a lot, or I meet him for lunch or something like this, or something like that. Like it was that type of thing. But I was starting to like him
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't getting what I was supposed to get from the person that I was with. But he was giving me everything that I was asking for from this person that I'm getting into this relationship with. So it's kind of like some people would say to me, that was cheating. I
So
don't
I have a
really think
question.
it's cheating because I didn't do anything.
So let me ask you this question. Were there any titles? Was there anything established? Like y'all had a conversation where we were like, we are together.
We
We
wasn't
are
together yet. We didn't get together until after the other guy got back with his ex. And then maybe 2 weeks later, Daniel made it official.
okay. So I'm gonna tell you like this because I live by this, and it's gonna be some people mad with me. But until you make it known that I am your man, until we make an agreement that we are going to be exclusive and monogamous, baby, I don't care what you do, because I'm probably doing it too. And I, I mean, it just is what it is. Listen, and even right now, I'll be honest, it's a couple people that think we talk, and I'm sure it's a couple people that I think I may talk to. But until it is made known that we are together, there's always room for somebody to come and take your
Yeah,
spot.
and see, people were saying, and see, I guess because I said when I was talking to my ex, I was talking to this guy, and they automatically believed that we was in a relationship. So when I was talking to the other dude, they felt like you was cheating on him. No, I wasn't cheating. I wasn't doing. In my opinion, I wasn't doing anything wrong.
You're
I
not
was
cheating.
just,
You're not cheating because you and I are not together. And if you don't
yeah,
want
we
me out
wasn't
here doing what
together
I was
yet.
doing, then you need to make some adjustments. You
Yes,
need
we
to make
wasn't
some
together
money.
yet. We wasn't together yet. We did not get together until maybe 2 weeks after the other guy decided to get back with his ex. That was it. And then maybe 2 weeks later he said, "You my boyfriend now." Okay, and then that's it. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't have been talking to the other guy had the person I was trying to be serious with was doing what he was supposed to do, because he was doing weird shit, and everything that people were saying about him, I was starting to see it. But then this other person is coming around me and they taking me out to eat. We're talking about life, and we're texting every day, and we're talking every day. The person I'm supposed to be taking serious ain't calling me like that. He don't call, he don't FaceTime. But the other guy, he FaceTime every morning. He talk to me every morning. He takes me while I'm working. When I get off, he live right around the block from my job. So he'll pull up to my job. He'll sit outside with me and talk. Or if I'm off of work, he'll ask me out to lunch. I'll go to lunch. He pay for the lunch. It's all that type of thing. But I wasn't thinking I was doing anything wrong
You
at
wouldn't.
all.
Let me save you some
You
time.
know?
You wasn't doing nothing wrong. He was the one that wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing. Because clearly, if he was, you wouldn't have been out there looking for nobody else anyway. And so, hello. And if we'll just go here, I'm gonna say this. When we talk about cheating, I think the what defines the cheating is what both parties agree to. Because I'll say this. So if you ask me, my humble opinion, if we're talking about a relationship, but you got a boyfriend on the side, my for me, the individual, my first question is, what the fuck you need me for? Because if you got all these other people on the side, we don't need to be in a relationship. You're already cheating. If some people will look at emotional cheat, or looking at somebody in a lustful way, even if you don't even touch them, some people will look at that as a form of cheating. But then you have those couples that be looking together. So from the outside looking in, is for some that may be considered as cheating. For the people in the relationship, oh no, we just looking. It just depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah, because some
um
people say it's a thing of like emotional cheating, and then there is cheating with people that is like sexual and stuff like that. Because like
mhm,
when I was trying to be with this one person, and then that other guy came around. When I was talking to the other guy, he was always talking about his ex all the time. He
mhm.
was always talking about the things that he went through with his ex, and I talked about the things that I went through with mine, or I was talking about the things that this man that I'm talking to isn't really giving me, or and I feel like it's a one-sided, lopsided situation. It was basically us venting
Mm-hmm.
about the guys that were in our life. But at the same point in time, I like you. You like me too. We're spending too much time together. So it's like, you like me, I like you too. Blah, 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 blah. But it's like, I'm not going to do it because this person is over here and then you just got out of something. So it wouldn't be smart on neither part to do anything. And I'm glad I didn't do anything because you went right back to your ex. And 2 weeks later, this guy said he wanted to be my man, which
I
he
was.
shouldn't have
Go
been my
ahead.
man in the first place.
Okay.
Because we broke up months later. So
And that's the thing that I was gonna say. I was just like, it depends on the type of relationship what is defined as cheating. But then also, I'm a firm believer that cheating is a choice. That's my logic, especially now. I'm not going to force anybody to do anything. If we're in a relationship, I think one of the biggest misconceptions about relationships, people feel like they own you. You don't own anybody. If we're in a relationship or if we have made the agreement that we're going to be in a relationship, that means that we have collectively decided that we are going to cut all of our people off that we were dealing with prior to and focus in on each other. Now, with that said, you can do whatever you want to do,
yeah,
but that is with the understanding that
we ain't
what
together.
you do what you do tells me how you feel about me and what we've agreed to. What you do will explain to me everything about your character. So in this instance, this is a telltale sign of Teddy's character. However, I will also say Teddy, while there's no justification for cheating, everybody has their reason. And so for Teddy, it was, well, you're always gone, and you may come home for a couple of days, but then you right back on the road with Mary Mary. It's always
But you
Mary
already
Mary.
knew what that was given
But
in
you
the first
already
place.
knew what it was given when you met her. So what you should have done, being that if you were, as my mama literally just had this conversation with my brother the other day. You are getting ready to, for the people that don't know, my brother's getting married next Saturday. My brother has, I'm not gonna tell his business, but of course, my brother has seen some things that kind of are just like, I don't want to deal with that. But the constant conversation has been the things that you ignore now are going to be amplified times 1,000 once you get married. And being a wife, being a husband is totally different from being a boyfriend and a girlfriend. So if you don't think you can handle these things, get out of it now. And I think that's some of the best advice. And I don't know if anybody told Teddy, like I said, I don't know who is a male counsel in his life, but they should have told him, like, this girl is, if she, yeah, no, she was already in Mary Mary. This girl is a gospel treasure. So it's only up from here. So you need to look at what you're getting into. And a lot of these people, I'm finding they don't get married for love anymore. They're getting married for opportunity. They're getting married because they need help. They get married because their partner's on drugs, they on drugs, and together they can be on drugs. Like it's a slew of reasons why people get married, but none
Yeah.
of it has to do with love, no, or a lot of it doesn't have anything to do with love.
Yeah, because like we might have to do another video about relationships. Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Listen, because I'm looking at the comments, so like someone said, sometimes men will cheat to humble
to
a
humble
woman more
someone is more
successful
success.
than them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, here's my thing. If you trying to humble your partner, I could see if your partner was out of control and rude, and you have this personality that can just be too much, Tamar Braxton. But those are instances where you would humble your partner. But if your partner is just being who they naturally are and who they've always been before you, why why would you want to, especially if love is a part of it?
And see, that's the thing though. Another thing too, like when you talk about people that date people that's a little bit more successful than them. I remember when I used to talk to a guy that had his own business and he was way like I was still working at the dollar store. Okay. He had his own this was like maybe 12 years ago. He had his
Hmm.
own business. At this point in time, he is not I ain't saying no names this time, but if I say who it is, people will know exactly who he is because he has made a big splash on the internet because he's married a woman now. The woman that he's married used to be like a was a trans man, but now she detransitioned and she's now a woman now. So I used to I used to date that. I used to talk to him
Scotty,
a long time
please,
ago. I
please.
did. I used to talk to him a long time ago, and I didn't care about what he had. And I wasn't intimidated by what he had either. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't care about any of that. Like people, because I was more so like, well, why is he talking to me? I ain't got shit. I'm still trying to figure my life out. Why is he talking to me? But it wasn't even about, because I know for me, and some of my people gonna get mad when I say this. But when it comes to me, I don't think that much of myself. So sometimes I'm always questioning why anybody wants to talk to me. Like, especially I used to sit up here and think about guys of certain calibers that would talk to me. Like that guy, for instance, he got his own business. Why would he want to talk to me? This guy had a trucking company. Why would he want to talk to me? It's always that. I always seem to attract, if I'm not attracting guys that are fuck boys or guys that are hard to hard
Hard to
to
love.
hard to love, or guys like that, then it's guys like got their own business, guys that have a whole lot going on for themselves. It's a magnitude of different people. So I'm always questioning it. So sometimes when people date folks that have more than them or got more going on than them, sometimes they can be insecure with themselves and they'll do anything they possibly can to bring that person down.
But is that an excuse to cheat though? Because I feel like, so here's the deal, right? So I feel like it's a lot of deflection going on. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
not just in this situation, but the hell, we can use the YouTube reality streets. It's a lot of deflection going on. The people do not like to be accountable, and I get it because I
Hmm.
used to be that person who was never accountable for anything. It's always somebody else's fault. Why? But why they don't like me? I, I didn't do nothing. Listen, I
Right.
like I don't know why everybody was looking. What say Marseille? I don't know why everybody was looking at me like I was on America's Most Wanted. I mean, I am hot and I am wanted, but I ain't did nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? No, baby. Like we got to take some accountability. Before you even cheated, you had the thought, and the moment you had the thought, you should have been like K Michelle and had the conversation. I'm about to cheat on you.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I
Look
just
what you
don't
making
agree.
me do.
I just feel like there is no reason to cheat.
There's no reason, especially if
It's
you are
no
dealing with
reason.
somebody who you can. I like to call this white space. And with what white space is for people that don't know, white space is the area that my therapist and I have created where you can say anything and nobody will judge you for it, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
for example, I remember there was a point. I'm gonna give y'all something light. I ain't gonna give y'all nothing too heavy. But I remember it was a point where I used to be so embarrassed to say out loud that I have a foot fetish. I love a motherfucker with some pretty ass feet can get the world from me. Okay, like I used to be so because it used to feel so foreign. Listen, I used to be so embarrassed to say that
Why
because
though?
the people be like, you be putting people feet in your mouth. Sure do. I
I
sure
don't see why
do.
you would be. I don't understand why you would be shamed. Because baby, I said it on here once before. I said I like toes. I
Sure
said that.
do. Sure do. A
I
fresh
said
pair of
that.
manicures. Babe,
I said that. I don't care what nobody
listen.
say. I
You
said that.
I got you some Epsom salt because you're gonna be sore tomorrow. Hell, I might be too. So we can sit in the tub together and I can rub you down. Okay. But something like that. Like my therapist was like, we gotta make it real, we gotta give it a name. Whatever, whatever. This is white space. And with white space, you can say whatever, like I said, nobody can judge you for it. I feel like if they had been communicating, and like I said, the fact that he felt the need to cheat and he couldn't come talk to her about it, that exposes a whole nother issue. You you must have created, and I from what I've seen, everybody ain't lying on you on camera. Some of what we've seen on camera is actually how you are. That's probably how you talk to that man. That's probably how you handle that man. And because of such, he probably felt like it wasn't a safe space. I remember I would tell my mama for years, You upset because I'm sneaking and creeping around the house, and I'll go and tell my daddy stuff, but I won't come and talk to you. Why? Well, how can I? If the moment I tell you something, you overreact. How can I if you're not creating a safe space for me to come and feel comfortable enough to come and expose some of the darkest things about me to the person that gave me life? And it's the same thing in his relationships. These women be out here, oh, I can't find no man. Even some of these dudes, I can't find no man. Don't nobody want to. Check yourself, because sometimes it's your approach. Sometimes it's how you handle stuff. How do you expect me to come and talk to you about something that is hurting me when you're the only thing you're going to do in return once I tell you is tell me to suck it up? Men don't cry. You'll get over it. Just go to church and pray about it. You know how they do. You know how they do.
And see, here's the thing, and I just feel like at the end of the day, it's just like there is no reason. Like, if you feel like you got to cheat on me, please let me know so I can leave. Because it's because to me, it's like I cannot deal with that. Because if you cheat on me, that's gonna make me feel like it was nothing I could do that was gonna be worthy of it. Like it's always gonna be my fault to me, and I should never think that way. But when people have done things to me, it's always been me questioning what happened, because like I said, the first example that I used with the first guy that I used as an example, when I found out that the entire time that I was with that man, helping him, when he was going, when he lost his job, I was helping him pay his bills and stuff. I when somebody busted his windows out at the club, I paid for the windows to get fixed because he didn't have the money to do it. It's just like had my mama help him get a job at the post office and everything, even though he
He
never
was
took
using
it.
you, baby.
Even though he never took it, did all of that only for me to find out that he was cheating on me the entire time after I broke up with him. And I'm like, so what did I do wrong?
See, some of that is a lot of that is a manipulation tactic. Somebody, Trey Carter said, "Hey Trey." Trey said Tina said she had homicidal thoughts when she found out about the cheating, yet she stayed. That's a lie. So remember in the beginning when I said, and I'm gonna touch on that, and I'm gonna touch on some other stuff too in the next second. So in the beginning when I said, I, and this is not me preaching against God or anything of the sort. This is not that. But remember how I said in the beginning that the Bible and the misinterpretation of it keeps these people bound and chained in these relationships that they probably should have never been in it from the very beginning. First of all, let's backtrack. Before you can even begin to research and ask questions about what's in the Bible, you have to be able to read, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Half these people can't read. So let's start there. Let alone do they have the skills to comprehend what's being said. Therefore, they don't know what to research. They don't know what to ask, what to look for, what to interpret. They don't know what, like, to be honest, a lot of these people that go to church don't even know what they're reading. They only reading and they're interpreting what is based off the leader, and the leader that's giving or the pastor or whoever, they not even understanding what they're reading because they're misinterpreting it from the very beginning. I've
Mm-hmm.
watched it with my own eyes. People take a sermon, and then Noah took this, and then he turned the fish into 50 loaves of bread, and then next thing you knew they fed 5,000. Like, the two don't even correlate, but the people are eating it up. So these are the things that are keeping these people bound in these relationships. So when Tina was saying that she was, suicidal, I don't know if I can say that, but I done said it now,
You don't mind.
suicidal
Go
and
ahead.
homicidal, like the whole time that she was doing all that, where was her help? Where was her outlet? Well, you got Erica over here saying, I'm going to help you through this because I've gone through this. But then this same Erica is the same person who is gaslighting Tina, among other things, when she does start to talk about it. And then you got their mama, which is really where this stuff started from, who married her ex husband 3 times,
Hmm.
telling Tina, go back to your husband and deal with your foolishness. Don't be trying to bring Erica and your sisters into your mess. Huh? At that moment, what Tina needed was somebody to tell her, baby, if you feeling all this and you going through all this, what you need, come on home. Come on home for a second. Let mama make you some greens and cornbread, with the turkey necks just like you like it. Come on home. We gonna find a place for all them kids. Like we got you. We got you. That's what she needed. Not a sister telling her, I'm going to help you, but then chastising her when she starts to talk about it. And then your mama basically is trying to minimize your stuff. Well, me and your daddy, we worked it out. We were fine. Well, why wasn't he with you when he died then, ma'am? I'm just curious. And to add to that, you got your sister, Gugu, who I adore. I love her fashion eye, but her energy sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, and I think the people in the comment section can attest, sometimes her energy does give mean girl. It does.
Mm-hmm.
It just does. You out here talking about, I know y'all are calling me. I'm not saying da 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 da, whatever commentary she had as a sister. I wouldn't even said that. You pouring fuel on flames, girl. What you trying to do? You No, I would have been as a sibling, I would not have inserted myself in that. I would not have made a public statement. No. The only thing I would have said, if anything, is that the same thing that y'all be saying when that crackhead uncle passes away. Please respect our privacy at this time. I would have said the same thing that the people say when that pedophile of an uncle gets caught up in some stuff and he's still gonna do it again, but y'all just don't want the public to know about it. Please respect our privacy at this time. I mean, it's out there now, so the people gonna talk about it. But I would, as a sibling, I wouldn't have said anything about it because my other question is, where were you when she was going through it the first time? To my recollection, she stood right there with Erica and just watched.
Okay, so let me ask this. So when she went through it, maybe because she went through it the first time and she stayed, they have less sympathy. That because that can happen. Like sometimes if you got a friend or a family member that's in this verbally abusive marriage or mentally abusive marriage, emotional abuse, all that stuff, and this man constantly doing stuff to you, you find out about it, you stick around, you complain to us about it, and you stick around again, and you know what I'm saying? It's probably like, okay, so what you want me to do about it at this point? You gonna stay anyway. So what am I supposed to do?
I would have said this because I we know people in those types of relationships. It's like, girl, you only gonna turn back and run back to him tomorrow. Like, what are we talking about? I would have said, first of all, publicly nothing. But in that situation, if I know that's what you're gonna do, I would have simply led and left with this. We gonna lead with love. I would grab her hand and say, baby, when you are tired, you will leave. Or when you are tired, you will make changes. When
Exactly.
you are tired, you will not continue to subject yourself to this. See, the problem with, and I'm gonna use, I'm trying to be sensitive in how I word this, but you notice I'm fighting with it because I'm
I
like,
know. I know.
I'm gonna say this. You can't use religion or Christianity in this instance. You cannot use that as a crutch, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's there for guidance, but it's not gonna fix everything.
It's not.
It's not gonna fix everything. Some stuff it's about you. Some stuff is about you. Jesus did his part, okay? He died on the cross for your sins.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's your job to stop sinning. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? But you're
No, that
gonna
makes
do
a
it.
lot of sense.
But you're gonna do it naturally because you're born into it, so you can't avoid it. It's gonna happen. But your role is day by day to let your flesh die. When it comes to that, you had therapists. You got all of these organizations for women who are in these types of relationships. Like, use your resources, baby. It might hit the news, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you leaving your husband who cheated on you and you found out about it is a much better headline than you contracting something, or your husband having some outside baby, or your husband left you after you went on this whole redemption tour, made a whole album, two albums, matter of fact, about it. You went on this whole you went on this 35, what was it? Think the first tour was 100 and something dates or whatever, and then you were getting ready to go on this second tour, which never happened. You out here telling, spreading the good news about how, you found out your husband was cheating and then you forgave him only for him to flip the coin and pull a Uno reverse on you, and now you're in divorce court or headed there. He made you look like a fool. He played you, babe. He didn't like you. He That's the part, right? So the people be in a rush to get to an altar, get in a relationship or whatever. You need to make sure that the person actually like you before you jump in a relationship. It's too many people, and I'm going there now. Hell, we already here.
We
It's too
here.
many people in relationships with people that they don't like and don't like them.
Period. That is so
But
true.
you out here taking Christmas photos, matching pajamas, you're exchanging gifts on Valentine's Day, birthdays, and President's Day. You're in and out the country with each other, but in everybody else's DMs and everybody laughing at y'all, but you're still being rewarded for being, the ideal couple. Okay. I would
This is
rather be with
why. This is what I'm so glad you said. This is why I don't do the couple goals thing.
I'm
I
just
don't
saying.
do it.
I
I
don't do it
don't
because you
do
never
it.
know what these people are baby, they can be smiling in them pictures and be having knockdown drag outs behind the screen. I'm telling you. We're literally watching it right now. Old girl was, uh, I, look at how black men treat us and talk to us. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. She go out of town with that man in Tanzania. Next thing you know, she's the new headline. She on a t-shirt and everybody trying to give her sympathy. But the people in the comments that watched it in real time, they're not going for that because you wasn't with the ninjas then. So don't be looking for sympathy from the ninjas now. That man offed you. And literally, like, that's what be happening in these relationships. These people don't like y'all. You
They
think they
don't.
do.
They don't. And then it's because we
Hmm.
listen, we had this conversation on the scene. In one of our scenes, it got cut out. But we had
It
this
did.
conversation. We had this same conversation, and the scene actually didn't get cut out, but that part got cut out. But
Yes.
we had this conversation because we was telling our stories about our experiences. I wish I would have seen it. That was so good.
It was,
But
y'all, it was
it
so
was
good.
so
When I
good.
tell you, we were literally sitting at dinner at Hudson Grill, and you were like, well, what do you want in your relationship? Well, child, let's start here in my next relationship or with the next person who decides to pursue me. I don't know where they are, but my thing is, I would just like for them to like me genuinely, like, and it be
Right.
pure and it be beautiful and organic, not forced. And, we went through the things, but somebody genuinely liking me first. Because when a person, see, here's the thing. Let me break this down. When a person really likes you, right, they're going to respect you. And when you respect a person, you're not going to do anything to purposely hurt them.
That's
There was
true.
no respect in that marriage because if he
None.
respected her, you might have had the thought, but you never would have. You know what I'm saying? You would have been dipping your hot dog in all these different sauces. Now look at you.
And what's so crazy is
A
that when we were sitting
mess.
there, and when it was so crazy is when we were sitting there talking about that stuff, I'm sitting up here talking, and then you talking about I just trying to see what's going on with you and your husband. And here I go, that is not my husband, blah blah blah
Scotty
blah blah.
Kane.
And then I'm just like months later that
You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all genuinely like each other. Like, I literally watched this in real time. Like, y'all genuinely do like each other.
yeah, so it's like for me, like just looking at, because I ain't gonna lie, when I first heard about Tina's husband filing for divorce, I immediately went on YouTube, and the first thing that I saw on my algorithm was those clips from Mary's show when they was sitting there talking about the situation, how Tina was going off and how she was saying, I want to feel this, let me feel this, I want to feel my anger, I want to feel my sadness, I want to feel this, I want to feel that. And I don't follow Mary like that. You feel what I'm saying? I don't. So I don't know everything that goes on with them. But I'm like, she was still with him. That's what I was saying when I first seen it pop up on my pop on the neighborhood talk. I was like, oh, so she was still with him? Oh, Jesus.
Maya Angelou said it best. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time. This wasn't his first time cheating. And when you stay in a situation like that, especially in a situation where somebody is cheating on you, manipulating you, gaslighting you, you name it, you are basically teaching that person how to treat you. So if they are out here cheating on you, he already know. She gonna cuss, she gonna scream, she gonna, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
throw up gang signs, and now we outside talking about some Sulu. Like we know you gonna do all of that. But I know at the end of the day, my wife coming back home. Bad move, sis. Now, I'm going to say this because I'm never going to revel in someone else's demise, downfall, tears, none of that. That's not even who I am. I do want Tina to heal, but I want Tina to heal for Tina. I want Tina at this point. I know I said in the beginning the best thing she can do is go back to Mary, get in the studio, record an album, go on tour, whatever, whatever. Yes, that is the best thing she could do with her time because an idle brain or idle time is the devil's playground.
It
So
is. It
I want,
is.
you know what I'm saying? And that's how these initial thoughts got in her head the first time. You had too much time on your hands. You were sitting at home. You should have been doing Mary, okay? I want her to heal for Tina and I want her to live her life for Tina and find her own happiness, not in a man, but in herself. Because when she initially married that man, she had daddy issues. She had daddy issues. I would have left the first time he cheated. You cheat, I don't care what the reason. You didn't talk to me. You robbed me of my choice. That's like somebody sleeping with you and you got an STD. You don't give them the option to decide if they want to be with you or not. You robbed me of my choice. Therefore, you robbed me of my choice. Now you leave me to make the inevitable. And I'm gonna just say this: going back to the Maya Angelou quote, if you gonna do all of this screaming and hooting and hollering, why? I get it. I get what the Bible says, but why would you stay? The Bible says something in regards to marriage. It says something in regards to if your husband or your spouse cheats or is abusing you, then you can leave. You can file for divorce. Why would you stay? So this is more about her than it is about him. Yeah, she may have to pay alimony. Yeah, she may have to go to divorce court. Yeah, she finna be a single woman and outside in these streets. But all of this could have been avoided if you had just
Left.
left because by you staying, you showed your hand. I've seen this often, and I have to say, I agree. She was never gonna leave him.
Mm-mm.
She
Absolutely
was
not.
never gonna leave him. Like when she cheated, I won't even call it arrested development, but and I'll even say for me, I got this new album out, whatever, whatever. I spent 8, 9 years running behind this person. This person had to die in order for me to even begin to heal for real.
Right. Like people don't. Oh God, because we're running out of time. People, I will say this because we are running out of time. I will say this. I'm glad you said that. What people don't understand is it took me a long. I think I said this to you when the whole bando thing became a real thing. I think I
Hmm.
told you I'm so lost. I don't know what to do. I haven't been in a relationship in over 6 years. It's been so long. I've been single. I've been doing whatever the fuck I want to do. Now I'm in a relationship now, and I don't know. This is new to me all over again. That's exactly what I said because I took years before I got in something else.
Hmm.
Because for a long time, I wasn't certain if I ever wanted to do anything else. I
Hmm.
wasn't, because the last one I was actually in drained me. It took me over a year to heal from that. I
Hmm.
hated that person. I wanted to do bodily harm to that person. And it just because of all the things that I recall, like sometimes when you break up with someone and you think about everything you did for that person, and then it's like I was like, I did this for them, I did that for them, out of the kindness of my heart, even when I knew it, even though I figured he was doing something weird. Like I'll go back in my head and I think about I remember we planned to go out on a date or something like that, and I went to the restaurant and he never showed up. Didn't even give me no excuse, didn't do anything until the next day. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't come. I had this going on, but you're gonna let me show up and just sit here by myself? I
He
should have
don't
left
like
you
you.
then. Yeah, I should have left you then. My friend invites us out to a couple's dinner, and I show up, and I done told you about it. I show up, you don't even show up. So I'm the only one here without my man, and everybody else sit up here with a man. And I'm on mine don't even show up. So you
So when
keep embarrassing me and, and humiliating me, but at the time I'm making excuses for it. So it's
yes,
I'm making excuses for it, and I don't even see that you really don't fuck with me like you claim you do. You know, because I feel like if you really didn't fuck with me, you wouldn't be here. But your actions is actually showing me that you don't. So it's kind of like you see it, but you really don't want to believe that that's the case. So it takes after you break up with someone, you think back to everything that has transpired between you and that person, and then you realize they never cared about me in the first place. They didn't like me. They
they
was
were
never
here
for
to
me.
game.
And they was here to take from me. And it was kind of like I was just like, oh my God, I introduced you to my mama. I don't introduce no man to my mama. I introduced you to my mom. I took you to my favorite cousin house for the 4th of July. You ate their food sitting up in what?
It was something about your little ugly eye. And then
Right.
you go and do me like that.
You gonna do me like this? And been cheating on me the whole we broke up the Thanksgiving of 2019. But you had me on Facebook restricted. So I couldn't even see what you were doing after a while. My best friend had sent me a screenshot telling me what they were doing. That's how I knew something was going on. And you know, on Valentine's Day on Facebook, they had those little Valentine's Day games where they tell you when you met your spouse or when you met your
Mm-hmm.
man or whatever. So it's Valentine's Day. Remember, that's 2 days after my birthday. Me and this person have been broken up since Thanksgiving. So this is about 2 or 3 months. Somebody sent me this and they said, when did you guys make it official? Clearly, you're with someone else now, even though we only been broke up for 2 or 3 months.
See, it'd be that
So,
overlapping.
right. So it says, when did you guys make it official? He said October the 30th, 2019. October 30th, we were still together and you were supposed to come to my hometown for my homecoming and you didn't even show up. You stood me up that night too, and I got drunk behind it. So you mean to tell me that this entire time, so that means you've been talking to this person while we were together, but you broke up with me on Thanksgiving a month after you made it official with this person.
Listen, the word on the street is allegedly.
So that makes me feel like whatever I was giving you to help you out, you was giving it to
You
that
would have given
person.
it to them. And that's what the people are saying. Allegedly, he not only was with the mistress, but he also was with. Do you remember that episode of T.S. Madison and when her and T.S. Madison had that one episode, and that man had called in and said that him and Theodore had dealings, and I was like, oh. And low key MJ 333 said, if loving you is killing me, I'm gonna save myself every time. Every time,
Every
baby.
time.
Every time. And she should have saved herself while she had the cards. And one last thing on that subject, I'm gonna say this and then, I'm gonna let you take back over. But even with Erica, celebrating her 25-year anniversary, Tina did was in her comment. I did see Tina in her comments congratulating her and Warren on their 25 years. Erica had posted it days, I want to say 2 or 3 days before Tina's announcement, which came about not because Tina or Teddy said anything about it, is because somebody was being nosy. The internet detectives, they were looking around and they found it. Now, I'll tell you off screen whose paperwork I'm waiting to hear about, but just know
Mm.
I know it's coming because I'm not the only person that noticed it, but somebody else is getting divorced. Um I know somebody else is getting divorced. Tina's not the only person getting divorced.
Well, it's
I'm
time for
I'm
us
gonna
to
just
go
tell you.
anyway. It's time for us to go anyway because Bell Collective is on now, and you know I have to review that at 9:05. So we finna go. But I'm gonna tell y'all right now, me and D, I just love it. This is just like a phone conversation.
Yes,
Me
this is
and
literally
D,
how we be on the
this
phone.
is literally how it is when we're on the phone. But I'm gonna say this: me and DJ, we're gonna have more content together now. We do have to finish our Keisha Cole reviews and stuff. We do have to finish that. But because I was already thinking about doing more content for my members only and stuff, and talk about like sex, relationships, and stuff like that. Maybe me and DJ could talk about more stuff behind the paywall. What y'all think about that? Let me give me an answer to that before I cut this camera off. What y'all think about that? Because y'all already see, and DJ will be returning to the scene ATL for season 2.
Yes, y'all will see a lot more of me this season because last year, for the people that don't know, I think I can tell the people. So I'm gonna just say this: last year, I was dealing with some life threatening stuff that would have put me away for a little while. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're done with that. You know, life is good. You know, God has been faithful. God has been present and held my hand through all of it. Because I'm gonna be honest, there were some days where I didn't think I was gonna see tomorrow. So that's the reason y'all didn't see me that much this season. But also, we were filming season 4 of On the Way Up Atlanta, which
Me and
they'll be
you.
making an announcement about it soon.
Will they? Go see my 2 episodes.
I'm a listen. Oh, you wait till this is over. I can't wait to call you because I got a baby. We gonna talk. But yes, I would love to come back up here and kick it with y'all. Listen, this is literally all we do. We be laughing and joking and kicking with Nikki, and it's up. Yes,
That was just yesterday.
that was literally just yesterday. So yes, I would love to come up here and kick it with y'all. We have a good time.
Yes. As a matter of fact, Nikki is supposed to be a part of my membership stuff too. So maybe the three of us can get up
Lord,
here and talk
yes, the
about
three of
stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to her about. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. But look, y'all, me and DJ are gone. Y'all know I gotta go watch Bill Collective. Is I gotta rewind it because it's 4 minutes in, and y'all know I gotta come back at 9:05 to do a review. But this is it for me and DJ. Whenever we get the chance, we're going to finish our Keisha Cole reviews. We
we will do it
are.
tomorrow.
We will do it. We'll try to do it tomorrow. So with that being said, we are out of here. I ain't even gonna play, the outro stuff this time because I really got to get the hell out of here. But we'll see you guys next time. Until then.